This summer heat can really bite you, but you know what else does? Mosquitoes. I'm Ana Conejo, and I'll show you how the city is addressing the issue.
The road to recovery continues. I'm Melissa Trevino in Alice with how the Small Business Administration is helping neighbors and businesses affected by last month's severe wind.
Hurricane season is here. I'm Stephanie Molina in Robstown, hearing from city leaders how they're preparing the community for the next few months.
Good morning, I'm Suzanne Stevens. Brian and Michelle are enjoying some much-needed vacation. Let's turn it over to meteorologist Stephanie Lauber, who's standing by with a look at our roadways before we head out the door. Hi, Steph.
Hey, Suzanne. We are looking at a morning where we're feeling that mugginess out there, and it is definitely air you can wear. So you might want to give yourself a little bit of extra time, maybe run the defogging method on your windshield, because it is another one of those soupy kind of starts. But that's okay. We're heading into the weekend, and we've got to talk about heat. Once we get past that, we'll be talking about rain. More on that in your weather on the 6s. But heading out the door is pretty easy commute here along 181 between Portland and downtown Corpus Christi. Looking at a closer view of 37, 44 and that crosstown interchange. No problems to report right now, but remember there is some construction today from 37 and the 286 interchange near Port Ave. There will be some detour signs there, so slow your roll and give yourself some extra time. From the Bay Area down to the south side, we're looking good on all the major thoroughfares. Heading into the Bluff, equally good commute. A little busy on Waldron Road, it looks, but overall, no major delays. And the ride out to the coast is looking good over the JFK Causeway. Park Road 22 and 361 looking like a smooth ride. So as you head out the door this morning, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. That's a look at your traffic report. I'll have your forecast in a few.
Thanks, Stephanie. We'll check back with you in just a bit. Congratulations to the London Pirates. They won their second baseball state championship. The Pirates defeated Texarkana in the UIL 3A State Division Championship at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. This marks the Pirates' 5th straight state tournament appearance. Ethan Ortega was named MVP. 6 seniors graduate from the team this year. Congratulations to all the Pirates. In national headlines, a hearing is scheduled today in Boston over a lawsuit brought on by Democratic officials in 19 states. The states are suing the Trump administration over an executive order that reshapes elections. The order requires proof of citizenship for a voter registration and requires mailed ballots that come in after Election Day to be tossed out, among other changes. The state says it's an unconstitutional invasion of their clear authority to run their own elections. The man accused of a firebomb attack in Colorado is back in court today. This time, he's in federal court where he faces hate crime charges, which carry a maximum of life in prison. That's on top of the state charges he's already facing for attempted murder. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the deportation of the suspect's wife and 5 children. A hearing on their immigration case is scheduled for next Friday. 15 people were injured in that attack.
Nearly a month later, and people are still picking up the pieces left behind from those strong winds on May 8th. But there's good news for folks here. The Small Business Administration is here to help. They'll be helping businesses like the District Grub and Social, who got hit hard. Their roof was ripped off and a brand new AC unit torn from the building. They had to close, but are slowly rebuilding. SBA has set up shop downtown to help residents and businesses apply for low-interest disaster loans. You've got until June 26th to apply in person at the Old Bank building in downtown Alice. To learn more, visit our website at christv.com.
Hurricane season has arrived. I'm Stephanie Molina, your neighborhood news reporter in Robstown. City leaders are preparing this community to help them keep them safe in case of an emergency. I got a better look at what people who live here needs to know before a storm hits.
If a hurricane strikes the coastal bend, high winds aren't the only danger. Some steps are being taken in areas of Robstown that are more at risk. They plan to hold a town hall meeting where Robstown neighbors can ask questions they have regarding preparedness or evacuation process.
The town hall to help people in this community to prepare for hurricanes is scheduled Friday, June 6th. It starts at 5:30 p.m. In Robstown, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Stephanie Molina, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, good morning. The view along SPID this morning is looking a bit busy. Some busy bees up and out the door, but overall things moving smoothly. That's the most important part of that morning commute, right? We have this beautiful view for you over downtown Corpus Christi from our downtown studio Skycam. An assortment of colors there with the pink along those cirrus clouds up there, blues and purples for those lower level clouds, and we can see those beautiful Texas flags that are just making for a nice start to the day. So before we get you up and out the door, let's talk about the heat. That is going to be a big issue for us today, where our feels like temperatures are going to be running away from us during the early afternoon. And unlike the past couple of afternoons, we are not going to be looking at our maximum or hottest temperature of the day happening so early in the afternoon. It'll probably be around 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. So that's more of an opportunity for daytime heating. And as the actual air temperature rises, that feels like temperature will rise too. So we'll be feeling like the triple digits from about lunchtime on to dinner time. Do what you can to stay cool this afternoon and make plans to do so over the weekend as well, because we are looking at heat risk that is going to be pretty challenging this weekend. We'll likely even see heat alerts because our actual air temperature is going to be on the rise, and with the response in the feels like temperature, we're going to be feeling like the 110s in a couple of neighborhoods here, a lot of neighborhoods actually. So for your Friday, we're looking at inland neighborhoods seeing that 3 and 4 out of 4 heat risk in the red and purple there. Watch what happens tomorrow. A lot more red on the map. So that is going to be a 3 out of 4 major heat risk for most neighborhoods here across the coastal bend. And heading into Sunday, even more so. This time we're adding some speckles of purple to some more coastal neighborhoods, those across Nueces and San Patricio counties included. That's 4 out of 4, top of the scale extreme heat risk. So please do what you can to stay hydrated as we head into the next couple of days. For the big weather picture today, we're heading upstairs. High pressure is over us and will be tomorrow too, but it is slowly nudging off to the west and moving out of our way. That will open the door for a change in the weather pattern as we head into the early part of next week. But what is also going to be happening with that high pressure? Another batch of Saharan dust already here, but it's going to be really settling in as we head through tonight and into Saturday. So you'll notice very hazy skies, maybe even a little stuffiness with the sinuses, but it'll be gone by the start of next week too. All this to say, we won't have any obstacles when it comes to the rain chances. We'll be able to put all this humidity to good use. I think our next best chance of rain will come as we move into Tuesday evening and eventually Wednesday and Thursday as well. So a couple opportunities for widely scattered showers and storms. That'll be good. We need some rainfall here locally as well as in the watershed.
I'm Tony Jaramillo on the south side, and I'll tell you about one bar and grill here that's covering the bill for some families this summer.
And the bromance is over. Coming up on Sunrise, we talked to Scripps News Group Stephanie Lee Bergen about Trump and Musk. She'll break down the breakup. Welcome back. The breakup between President Trump and Elon Musk took a very public turn on Thursday. Musk flooded his X account with posts, retweets, and replies criticizing the president. Scripps News Group Stephanie Lee Bergen joins us live now. Good morning, Stephanie. Tell us how this relationship fell apart in less than a year.
Hey, Suzanne, good morning. Well, remember, it was just 1 week ago today that the two were in the Oval Office heaping praise on each other as they were seemingly celebrating the end of Musk's time as a special government employee. But their relationship really is less than a year old. It was immediately after the attempted assassination of Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. That was when Musk came out and endorsed Trump, and that's prompted the millions of dollars that he spent, $288 million, trying to get President Trump back into the White House. President Trump responding, of course, bringing Musk on the campaign trail, but then also promising to put Musk at the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. And that is something that the president followed through with in January. But on social media yesterday, a very different story about the relationship between the two of them. Musk making hard to count number of posts and replies and reposts criticizing especially the big, beautiful bill, calling it a disgusting abomination and saying House Republicans should be ashamed for even voting for it. But Musk also went into personal territory a little bit, claimed that President Trump is in the Epstein files and that's why they haven't been released. But of course, that information has not been verified. Trump also suggested impeaching President Trump and having him replaced by Vice President J.D. Vance. President Trump, for his part, relatively measured in his first comments on camera in the Oval Office when he was meeting with the leader of Germany. But later on Truth Social, President Trump threatened Musk's government contracts, threatening the SpaceX contracts specifically, saying the country could save billions of dollars if those contracts were canceled. Of course, those contracts would then need to be replaced by some other company in order to get our astronauts up into space and back. SpaceX and NASA very intertwined at this moment. So a lot of people probably waking up this morning, checking X, checking Truth Social a little more than they typically would on a Friday morning as everyone waits to see if the relationship is going to continue to devolve, if they continue to attack each other, or if they try to reconcile and try to find a peaceful path forward. That was what they said they wanted to do in the Oval Office just 1 week ago, with Musk himself saying that he expected to continue to be a friend and advisor for President Trump. But based on what happened on social media yesterday, that is not the relationship that the two men have right now.
Thanks, Stephanie. You know, a lot going on here and obviously to be continued. Thanks so much for your time. Hope you have a great weekend.
Hey there, happy Friday to you. We are looking at another humid start here. Air you can wear across the coastal bend. Yesterday, not as much wind though. Today it will come back to at least offer some relief for a few neighborhoods. Have the wide view at our wind gust forecast for today. So we already have a breezy start along the coast, but we're going to see those wind gusts lasting for a longer period of time. Today it is from that humid and warm southeast wind direction, but we'll see things shaking and moving during the hottest part of the day, which is about from lunchtime to dinner time. So at least there's that silver lining for today. But this morning we're already off to a warm start. Let's dive in deeper with the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network, powered by your Tempest weather stations. Over in the Kingsville neighborhood, looking at upper 70s, 76 degrees off Bishop Badger Meadowbrook, 78 degrees off Southwest Kingsville, and 77 off East County Road 2120. In contrast to what we're seeing out closer to the coast, the south side of Corpus Christi reporting temperatures in those lower 80s. 82 off San Benito Drive, Wind Willow, Bent Trail, Pebble Beach, and 79 across the Oso Creek at our Southampton station there. So a little bit of contrast. Your out the door forecast today has us all on a level playing field as that heat is on the rise. We are definitely going to be feeling it this afternoon. Something different today. The past couple of afternoons, we've been challenging those record high temperatures, 96 both yesterday and the day before. We're going to play a similar song today. However, instead of reaching our high temperature around 2 p.m., that's going to come later this afternoon around 4 p.m. And so that's more heat during the afternoon, less of that cool down during the afternoon. Thankfully, we will have that breeze, though, to help us out, but it is going to be a challenge today and throughout the weekend when it comes to the heat. Heat risk expanding as we head on into Saturday and even Sunday, where some specks of purple across a few neighborhoods mean we'll be at the top of the scale. Extreme heat risk 4 out of 4. I think we'll also see heat alerts this weekend, too. It's all because the big weather picture has high pressure upstairs sitting over South Texas. But as we head through the weekend, that nudges off to the west a little bit and will open the door for change. However, also with that high pressure comes Saharan dust, already moving to the coastal bend this morning, and we'll be seeing hazy skies this afternoon as well as throughout Saturday. So you might feel a little stuffy out there on account of that. But Saharan dust works to limit rainfall. So does that high pressure. That'll be gone by the start of next week. Enter rain chances, something we need very desperately here across the coastal bend. So look at your 7-day forecast shows. We are going to be battling the heat and some of that dust into the weekend, but temperatures will be back down as rain returns next week.
The Texas State Aquarium is making big moves, literally. I'm Alexis Scott telling you how crews are prepping for the upcoming demolition of the Old Harbor Bridge.
And Michaels is expanding its fabric section. Coming up on Sunrise, some of the new products you can expect to see in stores by the end of the year. Welcome back. Hooters has abruptly closed dozens of its locations just a few months after filing for bankruptcy protection. In a statement, a company spokesperson says it's closed certain company-owned locations to position the restaurant chain for the future. A specific list of locations was not released, but local reports indicate about 30 locations were shuttered in 7 states, including Florida, Texas, Michigan, and the Carolinas. Michaels is jumping into the void left by Jo-Ann Fabrics. It announced it's buying the fabric retailer's private label and drastically expanding its sewing selection. Michaels is adding 600 products across several categories, including sewing, quilting supplies, fabric, yarn, and sewing machines. Shoppers will also begin to see products from Jo-Ann's fan favorite, Big Twist Yarn and Fabric private label. Michaels also bought Jo-Ann's intellectual property, including its name, but no specific plans were announced for that. Jo-Ann's 800 brick and mortar stores closed over the past few months. The USS Lexington Steel Beach Luau will take place next Friday. It's part of the Lex kickoff for summer. The family fun Hawaiian themed party includes live music, a tropical feast, a big pig roast, and limbo contest with Lieutenant Lex. The festival will be held on the hangar deck and flight deck, weather permitting.
And so we're just kind of honoring their service, honoring the veterans who've come before, and we're just going to have a really good time.
For more information and a link to get tickets, you can find it on our website at christv.com. The South Texas Lighthouse for the Blind is hosting Sunny Adventures this weekend. The sensory-friendly arts and crafts event for kids is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Arts Center of Corpus Christi. There'll be hands-on art activities and interactive stations for kids. Tickets are $10. The Arts Center of Corpus Christi is located at 100 North Shoreline Boulevard.
All right, heading out for that traffic commute this morning. Not too bad. Good view here from our camera atop the USS Lexington. It's the first community bank camera, and we tend to call it the shaky camera every now and then because when a breeze goes by, we get a little seasick. But we can tell there's a good commute along 181 in the Harbor Bridge here. No delays. Let's start on the other side of the bays this morning and show you that 361, Park Road 22, and the JFK Causeway are just as smooth of a commute. If you're heading into the Bluff, that ride into NAS Corpus Christi this morning is rolling smoothly. Speeds up around 30 miles per hour. This stretch of SPID looks good, and Waldron Road has been a little busy this morning, but overall not too bad. Flower Bluff Drive looking much better. From the Bay, or the south side up to the Bay Area, the only slowdowns we're seeing here are along Ocean Drive, approaching Ennis Jocelyn. A little slow there between Airline and Ennis Jocelyn, so be prepared for that. You might want to take Alameda as an alternate. And if you're coming up the Crosstown Interchange to 37, not too busy, but remember, we do have some construction in this area related to the Harbor Bridge project, which, speaking of which, a good ride there. So as you head out this morning, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. That's a look at your traffic report. Your weather on the 6s is coming up.
A tour based on food. I'm Adam Beam with the young chefs of the San Diego School District and what they got a taste of around the city.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Hey there, good morning. A beautiful view from our CCAC camera. This one's out at Snoopy's, and you notice anything different about this view? Aside from folks enjoying their Friday morning while others have to go to work, Snoopy's is in blue lettering this morning. They did some maintenance out that way and shines nicely on this beautiful Friday morning. But hey, if you're heading out along the coast this weekend, man, it is going to be a hot one. A beautiful time to head to the beach, but it's still a place where you'll need to stay hydrated and think about ways to stay cool no matter where you are across the coastal bend, because the heat is going to be taking it up several notches as we head on into Saturday and even Sunday. I'll talk to you about what the weekend plans we'll need to take into account in a moment, but right now we're taking a look at today's heat risk. It is going to be a hot one, and a little bit of something different today to look out for is the past couple of afternoons. We've reached a high temperature of 96 yesterday and the day before, and that happened around 1-2 p.m. Today, that's going to happen a little bit later in the afternoon, say around 4 p.m. That gives us more time to be heating up and experiencing these very hot feels-like temperatures in the triple digits. So by lunchtime, we'll already be in those lower 90s for actual air temperatures, feeling like the lower 100s at that. And heading into the afternoon, we're probably going to feel like those middle to upper 100s, at least briefly. Saturday and Sunday, we may see heat alerts because I think a lot of us will feel like the 110s. Yeah, we're definitely getting that test run at summer here. So today's heat risk is one to be aware of, but it gets worse from here. A lot of red and purple on the map for inland neighbors that are west of the 77 corridor. Look at how this expands on into Saturday. And those reds and purples are where we have that oppressive and higher heat risk because that's 3 and 4 on our scale here, major to extreme heat risk. A lot of red on the map on Saturday, but look at this, adding some purple to the map on Sunday, even for parts of Nueces, San Patricio, Live Oak, and Jim Wells counties. So please be careful with whatever you're doing. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there because it is going to be tough. A couple of heat-related illnesses you'll want to watch out for: heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Those are the two main illnesses that we see when it comes to hot conditions. One of them more serious than the other. Heat stroke requires a call to 911. That's where you may have a throbbing headache. Folks, stop sweating, red, hot, and dry skin, rapid, strong pulse. You can pass out from this kind of heat. Where heat exhaustion is a sign that you really need to turn things around. Someone may feel faint or dizzy, sweat excessively, and have that cool, clammy skin. Rapid pulse here, and muscle cramps are a big telltale sign. You need to get this person into a cool place, hydrated, actually cool their skin down to help them deal with the heat. So watch out for that. But the big weather picture, upper level energy, helps us understand where the pattern will finally break. High pressure is sitting on top of us. As we head through the weekend, it is slowly going to work its way to the west. That opens the door for change. But while this high pressure is over us, we're going to have some Saharan dust in the skies today. Already moving into the coastal bend this morning, and we'll see a thicker batch of this heading into this afternoon and also Saturday. But it clears out by the end of the weekend, so that's our change. Boom, we're good. Enter rain chances to the forecast. So while we'll stay hot and hazy this weekend, there is relief on the way. It comes next week, Tuesday through Thursday, with scattered showers and a cool down coming to the coastal bend.
This summer heat can really bite you, but you know what else does? Mosquitoes. I'm Ana Conejo, and I'll show you how the city is addressing the issue.
I'm John Mattery's Father's Day is June 15th, and whether Dad just likes working on the house or relaxing in the yard, we've got some great gifts that you can find for him.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, KRIS 6 Sunrise team. We're Goodwill Industries of South Texas, and we're here at South Staples at Everhart, and we want to wish our neighbors across the coastal bend a great morning and a great day. Bye, guys.
Good morning to our neighbors at Goodwill on the south side. We hope you have a great day. If you want to send us a shout out, scan the QR code on your screen or head on over to our website at christv.com.
Now, the local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans.
Hey folks, by the time you're watching this, we will be out of state and over the moon, celebrating our 1-year wedding anniversary.
Yes, but just because we're away doesn't mean you can't have a fabulous time in your neighborhood. There's plenty happening around the coastal bend this weekend. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Let's dive on in. Let's start in downtown Corpus Christi with Fashion for a Cause. Veterans nonprofit Burn Pits 360 is back with its second annual Designer Purse Bingo fundraiser.
Because nothing says support our veterans like bingo and a Birkin. It's happening Saturday at 1 p.m. at the Holiday Inn downtown Marina. All proceeds help advocate for veterans affected by toxic exposure.
Downtown gets even more colorful tonight. Mural Fest is taking over Art Walk. From 6 to 10 p.m. Enjoy live music, food trucks, art vendors, and, of course, plenty of Instagram-worthy murals.
Saturday keeps the fun going with a mural dedication block party on South Chaparral Street from 3 to 9 p.m. Expect new mural reveals, a live artist Q&A panel, and even more creative fun.
And there's still more to explore downtown. Market Days over at Heritage Park runs Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Whether you're treasure hunting or just browsing, there's something for everyone.
And if you love love more local goods, the Coastal Bend's got you covered. Portland's Farmers Market happens Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 2000 Billy G. Webb Drive.
And Aransas Pass is joining in on the fun with Market Days, courtesy of VFW Post 2932. That's on Saturday and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Now think handmade art, baked treats, jewelry, and more. You never know what gems you'll find unless you go there.
And while you're in the neighborhood, you might not want to miss the second annual Fish Fest.
It's a free tournament hosted by Towboat US and Chris's Marine. The first 200 kids get a free fishing pole, plus prizes, activities, and some fantastic family fun.
Do you need even more ways to make a splash? Well, Ingleside Parks and Recreation is kicking off its summer movie series with a summer bash over at the Charles H. Doherty Swimming Pool.
From 6 to 8 p.m., enjoy poolside fun, then stick around for a showing of Moana 2.
You can find a spot starting at 8:30. The movie starts at sundown.
Hey folks, if you want even more info on events happening in your neighborhood, just head on over to our website.
And of course, if you want your event featured on a future Coastal Bend Weekend segment, make sure you send us a message.
Reporting in spirit from somewhere with room service and no deadline, I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Happy Coastal Bend Weekend. We'll see you when we get back.
All right, that's one fun way to spend the weekend, but hope you're making some plans with your favorite four-legged friend. I know it's been kind of tough to go for that dog walk because it's been hot, but our dog walking forecast starts today. Lily, she lives over in Alice. Let's go for a walk near Anderson Park, but looks like in this photo she might be sitting by the pool, and poolside isn't a bad place to be because we are looking at a lot of heat in the forecast, not only today, but into the weekend too. So take a look at this hour-by-hour forecast. We'll be in the 90s by lunchtime, and it is a steady climb through those 80s with a bit of a breeze, thankfully, but hourly heat is something to consider when we're sitting in those triple digits for feels like temperatures. This is the number you want to pay attention to because that is the number that your body perceives, the temperature your body perceives with the heat that we're expecting. So for today, that heat risk is going to be pretty concerning for inland neighbors, but look at how this expands toward the coast as we go on into Saturday as well as Sunday. And being outside a little challenge, not only from the heat, not only from the mosquitoes, but also from that Saharan dust that's going to be in our forecast for today. So if you feel a little stuffy, the hazy skies might be the reason why. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast for us here in Corpus Christi. Once we get through a very hot and dusty weekend, we'll be looking at rain chances next week.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Suzanne Stevens. We'll check in with meteorologist Stephanie Lauber in just a bit. But first, here's your neighborhood check-in.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter on the South Side. It's no secret groceries are expensive, and so is eating out. But let me show you how one South Side Bar and Grill is making things a little easier for some families this summer. Mandy's Pub and Social is offering free wings, loaded fries, and smash burgers from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday. This is happening as Chris 6 News previously reported that the Coastal Bend Food Bank reported an 18% increase in families in need from its most recent distribution event. Owners Aaron and Mandy Ayala say they've been in tough situations before and want to give back, and the program runs on an honor system. For more information about Mandy's Pub and Social, visit our website, christv.com. On the South Side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
As the construction of the New Harbor Bridge comes to an end, the demolition of the old one draws near. I'm Alexis Scott, your North Beach neighborhood news reporter at the Texas State Aquarium, where they're taking extra steps to prepare their most vulnerable animals.
The facility sits directly under the old bridge that's set to come down soon. For nearly a year, animal management crews have been planning how they'll transport animals that are outdoors into the aquarium facility. Loud construction noise, debris, and dust is their biggest concern for the animals. Dolphins, stingrays, otters, and ocelots are the most vulnerable animals that will be moved. No extra cost comes with moving these animals. They're expected to be in their new homes no longer than a month during demolition. And it's still unclear when the demolition of the Old Harbor Bridge will begin.
giving students of all ages and backgrounds the opportunity to learn and express themselves through cooking. That's what the Junior Chef program sets out to do. For students of San Diego ISD, they got an up-close look at just some of the culinary offerings around Corpus Christi. Not only did the Junior Chefs learn about career opportunities, but they also got a tour of the many facilities they could work with.
But most importantly, they represent different facets of the food ecosystem.
The chefs got a bird's eye view from the Republic of Texas, as well as some hands-on lessons.
Ah, there you go. See?
Nearly a month later, and people are still picking up the pieces left behind from those strong winds on May 8th. But there's good news for folks here. The Small Business Administration is here to help. They'll be helping businesses like the District Grub and Social, who got hit hard. Their roof was ripped off and a brand new AC unit torn from the building. They had to close, but are slowly rebuilding. SBA has set up shop downtown to help residents and businesses apply for low-interest disaster loans. You've got until June 26th to apply in person at the Old Bank building in downtown Alice. To learn more, visit our website at christv.com.
Hurricane season has arrived. I'm Stephanie Molina, your neighborhood news reporter in Robstown. City leaders are preparing this community to help them keep them safe in case of an emergency. I got a better look at what people who live here needs to know before a storm hits.
If a hurricane strikes the coastal bend, high winds aren't the only danger. Some steps are being taken in areas of Robstown that are more at risk. They plan to hold a town hall meeting where Robstown neighbors can ask questions they have regarding preparedness or evacuation process.
The town hall to help people in this community to prepare for hurricanes is scheduled Friday, June 6th. It starts at 5:30 p.m. In Robstown, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Stephanie Molina, Chris 6 News.
Summer is here, and there's two big things that may be stopping you from going outside: this heat and the mosquitoes. I'm Ana Conejo, your neighborhood news reporter, with some tips on how to protect yourself and what the city is doing about the issue. These are mosquito traps being shown to me by Dr. Dante Gonzalez, the interim director of public health. He tells me Corpus Christi Vector Control has been busy to keep neighbors safe.
We've condensed some sections to make sure that we are treating every single area in Corpus Christi all the way down to even the island.
The team consists of 4 vector control specialists. They go out to 27 different zones.
The city gets treated every week for mosquitoes to control the population of mosquitoes.
You may not see mosquitoes right away, especially after a recent rain event. But Gonzalez says, don't be fooled.
It does take a little bit of time for the mosquito to come out once it's from the egg to the larva into the adult stage, and you'll see a delay after a rain.
For neighbors who want to stay protected from these mosquitoes, here's a few tips. Use a mosquito repellent with DEET. If you go outside, wear long sleeves and pants. Try to avoid going out at dusk, dawn, or during the day. That's when mosquitoes are most active. And drain all standing water around your house. It's a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Vector Control will continue spraying around for mosquitoes this week. Now, if you feel sick after being bitten, call your doctor. Reporting from the west side, I'm Ana Conejo, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, good morning. A gorgeous view from the WADA Skycam. This one, we're looking at a beautiful sunrise here. Less of those apparent colorful skies, but we're about to see some hazy skies in the forecast because Saharan dust is back in action. So if you've been feeling kind of sniffly this week, that may be the cause. Something to be aware of is that our air quality going to be impacted by that Saharan dust. But something else, the heat. That is going to be a health hazard this weekend because we're likely to see heat alerts. Heat risk is on the up and up. We have a lot to talk about in the forecast. So let's start off with something a little more fun, the dog walking forecast. Our start today, Lily, and she's got some advice for us here. This pup loves to take a walk in Anderson Park. That's in Alice, but it looks like in this photo she might be chilling out by the pool. Not a bad idea for some of the hot weather we're expecting this weekend. Look at the temperatures just today alone. We are going to be rising to those 90s once again around lunchtime, and it's still a bit of a breeze. The difference to know about today, we are not going to see our high temperature around 1, 2 o'clock early afternoon time frame. That's going to come later in the afternoon, which means we will spend a longer time heating up versus coming down from that heat. So it's going to be harder to handle some of the very hot conditions that we're expecting. Take a look at the feels like temperature. As our actual air temperatures rise to the 90s, we'll be rising through the triple digits. And this is the number you need to pay attention to, because that is a number, the temperature that your body experiences. And especially for pets like Lily, kids, pets, the elderly, they are more prone to heat-related illness, so you need to watch out, make sure they're able to stay cool. Now that you're keeping cool yourself. Today's heat risk is going to be worse for the inland neighborhoods, where we see the red and purple. Top of the scale, 3 and 4 out of 4 major to extreme heat risk, but that starts to creep closer to our coastal neighborhoods as we head on into tomorrow, and even on Sunday. There are specklings of purple across San Patricio, Nueces, Jim Wells, and Live Oak counties. So please factor cooling off into your weekend plans. The big weather picture shows us what's going on and where the changes, where the pattern finally breaks. So high pressure over us is going to start scooting away as we go through the weekend. That is going to allow for change to happen, but while it's still sitting over us, it's going to be very hot and stagnant. Now, couple that with Saharan dust that's moving across the Atlantic Caribbean Gulf to the coastal bend. It's already here this morning, but you'll notice those hazy skies this afternoon, and especially on Saturday. That's where things get hot and hazy. This all starts to dissipate as we head through the weekend into the beginning of next week. Enter our rain chances. Those will be back for the middle of next week, it looks like. And while the high pressure moves away, the dust moves away, that's where our pattern finally begins to change to one that allows for rainfall and, perhaps more importantly, a cool down. Temperatures returning to where we typically see them for this time of the year.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
In the 6 things you need to know, congratulations to the London Pirates. They've won their 2nd baseball state championship in history. The Pirates defeated Texarkana in the UIL 3A State Division Championship at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. This marks the Pirates' 5th straight state tournament appearance. Ethan Ortega was named MVP. 6 seniors graduate this year from the team. Congratulations to all the Pirates. And good luck to the Calallen Wildcat baseball team. They'll play Texarkana Pleasant Grove today in the UIL 4A State Championship. That game starts at noon. Stay tuned to Chris Six. Sports Director Larissa Liska will have highlights later today. The Texas State Aquarium is expanding its parking. They've bought more space for an overflow parking lot just north of the aquarium. The parking lot will help aquarium during the summer and high volume days. A shuttle service will also be available to take visitors from the parking lot to the aquarium. The new parking space will also come in handy when the Old Harbor Bridge is demolished. The aquarium's current parking area is right underneath the bridge. The Corpus Christi Parks and Recreation is offering junior Gulf Beach lifeguard camps this summer. The camps will be held at the Oso Pool. There'll be 4 different camps. The first one runs June 9th until the 12th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The camps are for kids ages 10 to 15. Students must pass a skills assessment, including a 50-meter swim and 1 minute of treading water to be eligible. You can register online until June 1st. The Nueces County Sheriff's Office is hosting their summer kickoff event this weekend. It will be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon at the Richard M. Bouchard Fairgrounds in Robstown. It's free and open to the public. Stop by and meet your neighborhood deputies and learn more about summer camps and programs. The city of Robstown, along with the Nueces County Emergency Management, will be hosting a hurricane preparedness town hall meeting and kit giveaway. It will be today from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Robstown City Hall. Officials will be on hand to answer any questions you have about hurricane preparedness and the evacuation process for Robstown. Robstown City Hall is located at 101 East Main Avenue.
All right, getting ready for that morning commute. Last one of the work week. Here's how things are looking outside. Pretty hazy from this view over SPID. More so because when we showed you the other views, it didn't look this hazy, right? Well, we've got Saharan dust coming back to the forecast. So not only is it humid, it's dusty out there, and we're going to see that into our forecast. Talk more about it in your weather on the 6s, but at least the ride looks like a smooth one from this view. We'll show you how things are shaping up on the roadways for commutes along 181 between Portland and downtown Corpus Christi. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just keep in mind, we have some construction detours near Port Ave and 37, where the crosstown interchange is going to be worked on. So aside from that, we're looking good up this way across Corpus Christi proper from the Bay Area to the south side. Easy commute for everybody. Into the Bluff, the approach to NES Corpus Christi is problem-free. In the Bluff, the only slowdowns we've seen this morning have been on Waldron Road. A little busy, but it's a brief area of the roadway, so it doesn't seem to be too bad out there this morning. And turning onto 361, going to be a little stop and go-ish, but overall looking good. As you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. That's a look at your traffic report. Your forecast is ahead.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and there'll be plenty of sales this weekend, from power tools to tech gadgets and ties. Scripps News Group consumer reporter John Matarese shows us how to score the best deals.
Father's Day is June 15th, so we came to the hardware store to see what kind of deals you can find for the garage guru, Mr. Fix-It, or just the king of your backyard. It's going to be a busy week here at Ace Hardware.
Most of them are running anywhere from $30 to $50 off.
Where tool kits, power tools, and lawn equipment are all on sale.
A lot of options. You have the Milwaukee, you have the DeWalt.
Salesman Ed Rooch says this week also brings something you rarely see.
There's some specials, yes, for Father's Day.
Markdowns on top-rated Weber grills.
You have the Spirits. You can get one, the 2-burner, for under $400.
Trey Bodge, smart shopping expert at TrueTray.com, says for those dads who are especially hard to buy for, personalized gifts are a great option, especially when you're on a budget.
Personalization is a huge trend right now.
Her product ideas include a luxury robe gift set, a stamped leather wallet, cupcake, cup candies, and a smartphone photo printer. All are less than $100. And Bodge says if you're really stumped, try the app Gift-Ya, a modern-day version of the gift card.
You can choose either his favorite store or restaurant that he can shop at, or you can choose the Visa option, so he could use it literally anywhere. He receives a notification by text. He pairs it with his debit card or credit card, and then that spending money that you've put into it is available for him to use right away.
Bodge also recommends giving an experience, like taking dad to play miniature golf or roller skating.
You could go on a site like Groupon, for example, and look for discounts. And ultimately, that's really what dads want, is to spend time with their kids. And that's a great, inexpensive, and fun way to do that.
And that way you don't waste your money. John Matarese, Scripps News Group.
Tom Cruise isn't just an action star, he's now a record holder. Cruise holds the title for the most burning parachute jumps by an individual. That's according to the Guinness Book of World Records. He secured the record by skydiving out of the helicopter with his burning parachute 16 times. He did this while filming Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. In a statement, the editor-in-chief of Guinness World Records says Cruise's success is due in part to him pushing the boundaries of what a leading man can do.
You know, he also holds the record for most leading roles in Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be breaking any records with this weather this weekend, but...
You know, we've been challenging him the past couple of days.
Yeah.
We've been off by that record high temperature by about a degree.
Yeah.
We've hit 96 the past 2 days.
Yeah, 103 isn't a forecast, it's a dare.
It is a dare to go outside, because that's not where we stop. This weekend, we're probably going to feel like the 110s.
Ugh.
It's going to be a challenge between the heat, the Saharan dust,
and
the mosquitoes. It's South Texas. Yeah, South Texas isn't for the faint of heart, right? We are looking at quite the weekend ahead of us, so let's start with what's going on right now. This view over downtown Corpus Christi shows you that, as daylight kind of shines down upon us, we are looking at hazy skies. It's a little easier to see it now at this point of the morning. Still a beautiful view over the sparkling city by the sea, but boy, oh boy, are we in for a test run this weekend of summer. Our temperatures are in those lower 80s along the coast, upper 70s, all other neighborhoods, but you know the temperature doesn't tell you the whole story this time of the year. The humidity is really the change maker there. But speaking of change, we'll see some of that coming up in the forecast. One change you might enjoy this morning, there's a little bit of a breeze. That is keeping things shaking and moving so that our visibility doesn't suffer too poorly. But still, expect haziness because, again, Saharan dust back in the forecast today and tomorrow especially. That means as you're going for that dog walk, not only do you have to contend with the heat, check in on kids, pets, and the elderly. They're more prone to heat-related illness. But if you feel a little stuffy, that air quality, of course, going to take a hit on account of the Saharan dust. But let's focus on the heat because our dog walking forecast star, Lily, has some great advice. This pup loves to go for a walk near Anderson Park. But this here makes me think that perhaps this pup is chilling out by the pool. A good place to hang out this weekend because boy is it going to be hot and humid. So over the next couple of hours, temperatures are going to rise through the 80s steadily to the lower 90s by lunchtime at about 10 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like to your body. So thank goodness we'll have a breeze. Also, while we're tracking this warm up today, notice that we keep going after 1, 2 p.m. The past couple of afternoons, we've topped out around that time frame. Today, our high temperature is going to come around 4 p.m. So that's more hours of warm up to contend with. And that means the heat and humidity are definitely going to take a toll today. So heat risk definitely top of mind. There's a lot of red and purple on this map for inland neighborhoods, but it starts to creep closer to the coast as we head on into Saturday and even Sunday. More red and even a few spots of purple here across Nueces, San Patricio counties. That's the top of the scale. Major to extreme heat risk, 3 and 4 out of 4, meaning we have to keep in mind cooling off, staying hydrated, but I also think we're going to have heat alerts this weekend on account of that. So pair that with Saharan dust, some hazy skies. We got a 1-2 punch this weekend, but the Saharan dust has already moved in. It's going to be more noticeable throughout today and tomorrow, but it clears out for the weekend. That's where our rain chances come back to the forecast. So a very welcome sight as temperatures top out in those middle to upper 90s for actual air temperatures, feeling like the 110s. Possibly 115 for a few neighborhoods. I hope not, but that is what we're looking at in the forecast. I'm very excited for the cool down next week that will come with some rainfall. So
yeah.
Yes, finally.
Yeah. Sorry I'm so much taller than you two. I apologize.
That's okay. I didn't have my Flintstone vitamins today. That's what it is.
That's all right. Thank you for that. Thanks for joining us on Chris 6 Sunrise. We'll see you right back here at noon. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.